Well, today's the day. It is U.S. President Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day.
So Trump is expected to unveil his plan to hit multiple countries with so-called reciprocal tariffs. That's going to be announced at 4 o'clock this afternoon in a Rose Garden ceremony at the White House. Not clear whether he'll end a temporary pause on economy-wide duties here in Canada, but in early March, Trump, of course, imposed tariffs, then sort of put a pause on them, then only did 10% on energy, etc. So it's been a complicated and confusing matter, which we continue to follow.
So joining us live now is CTV's political analyst, Eric Ham. Eric, thank you for joining us this morning. I'm curious to know what the U.S. side thinks about this. We know that the equivalent of the Auto Workers Union in the U.S. is for tariffs on vehicles not made in the U.S. Going into the country. But I mean, the economic world, other leaders, how are they feeling about these impending tariffs and how it can also hurt the U.S.?
Well, there's a lot of anxiety in the United States from the business side, the C-suite executives, all the way down to consumers and voters themselves. In fact, there was a poll done by the Associated Press that shows that more than 60% of Americans simply are not happy with Donald Trump's trade policy, and they specifically point to the issue of tariffs. In addition to that, we know the markets are also responding. In fact, right now, they're bracing. We've seen the markets extremely volatile over the last few days. In fact, we heard from a member of Donald Trump's own party, Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, a Republican senator, who is also deeply concerned about these tariffs, saying that they are hurting the farmers in his state. And so clearly what we're seeing right now is there has been a lot of pushback on the issue of tariffs, even within Donald Trump's own cabinet. We know Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has been very aggressive on the issue of tariffs, but you've got the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, who simply believes that the administration itself has actually gone too far. So what Donald Trump will announce today is anyone's guess, but clearly what we're seeing here is this is an administration that at least appears to be going forward with these tariffs, even despite what we're seeing from his own party.
And Eric, it's interesting, beyond the administration, Rand Paul, Susan Collins, prominent Republicans seeming siding with Democrats in terms of, opposing some of these measures as well here, Eric. Are these like early splits? I mean, it's been about 100 days or so that Trump has been in office here. Could this potentially be a sign of, a rift in the party? Because so many Republicans have just lined themselves up, in some ways, many would argue, pathetically behind Donald Trump.
That's right. And I think what you're seeing here is we had special elections take place yesterday, both in Wisconsin and Florida.
Yeah.
Two of those districts in Florida, very far right, deep red Republican districts, Donald Trump country, and the races were closer than expected. And so what we're seeing now is, and then after that race in Wisconsin, where we know billionaire Elon Musk poured so much money in, and Democrats picked up that seat, now there's growing concern within Donald Trump's party that with these tariffs and what they could potentially mean for many of these Republican-led districts, there's growing concern that Donald Trump perhaps has gone too far. And now you're beginning to see some Republicans actually push back on the president, but still the president is doubling down. And you're right, this could lead to a greater rift within the party.
And yet it seems like President Donald Trump is controlling the narrative, and he's not going to stop until he gets what he wants. Today, though, Liberation Day, it's really the beginning of negotiations, so to speak, right? I mean, this could go on for who knows how long.
Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump continues to say that it's Liberation Day, that there's room for negotiation. But again, we just simply don't know what the baseline will be on many of these tariffs. In fact, we don't know what products will be targeted. We don't know if Donald Trump is actually going to give a break to some countries as opposed to other countries. And so, again, there's so much speculation, and right now everyone's bracing because this has been a back and forth with the White House since Donald Trump was inaugurated.
Yeah, we'll find out, I suppose, in less than 8 hours' time. CTV political analyst Eric Ham, appreciate the time this morning. We'll watch closely and probably chat soon. Thank you.